everybody, it's Janet Metzger, and I am here today with my new friend that I just met not that long ago, Charlene Elliott. You know, I'm really excited to share her story with you today because I think it's a story that many of you can relate to. And on the Network Marketers Den, what we strive to do is bring you the best of the best in the industry. You know, what attracted me to Charlene, we met on a networking site, and is that she has been in this business for over 30 years. So she truly has the stick-to-itiveness. She's been married to her husband, Joe, again, sticking with him for 29 years, and you live in the Kansas City area. Mm-hmm. Another thing I liked about her, she's got a dog. Her husky's name is Maverick. 4 children, 7 grandchildren, and this is really what sets her apart. She's earned the use of a Mary Kay career car 3 times and is in the prestigious consultant community of the National Court of Sales. She's earned a diamond ring. A woman can never have too much jewelry. That's my belief, right? And currently, her and her team are earning their 2nd career car, and she's moving up to the top 2% of the company by becoming a sales director. So truly a really, really strong resume. Charlene, I want to welcome you to the Network Marketers Den.
Thanks, Janet. I'm so excited to be here.
Honestly, your resume is so impressive. And, we've met a couple of times offline before this. And there's a few things that really set you apart. And obviously, I talk with a lot of network marketers. We'll talk about that later. But I'm really curious. That's an incredible length of service with one company because there's people that just hop all over the place. What has kept you going? Because I can't believe that everything has been hunky-dory and beautiful and wonderful in your direct selling career. No, it hasn't really.
No, it's life. It's life.
Yeah.
I was talking to another friend of mine that I met through networking the other day. We had an hour-and-a-half conversation. It was supposed to be 30 minutes, but you know how they go. It's
right.
Like, just really enjoy the conversation. And I want to give her credit for this phrase. Her name is Michelle Baker. And we were chatting along and she said something that just resonated with me. It was like being faithful to your fortitude. And I think that is what has kept me in this business is I'm faithful to my fortitude, that I know in my heart of hearts that God has put me in this business. I was introduced to it when I was 14. I didn't join then. It was 10 years later when I was of legal age to do that. But the culture of this company and the vision of what I can see as possible for myself and my family and other people, that is what's kept me here. Plus, it's the best self-improvement course I could have ever paid myself to take.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the best parts about network marketing.
Absolutely.
It's so interesting that you say that is it's a great company and there's a lot of great companies and we know that, but you still have the stick-to-itiveness and you have the belief in yourself. And to me, that is so important. So important. You've had earned the car, you've lost the car, you've earned the car. Okay. So how do you keep yourself inspired? I mean, that would be tough, the ups and downs, because there are a lot of ups and downs. Is there anything special that you do?
It's a lot of self-talk and having my own little staff meeting with myself. The motivation meeting, I'll be walking through the house and I'll say something and my husband's like, "Are you talking to me?" It's like, "No, it's staff meeting time. I'm not talking to you." And I have to pull myself out and be the president of the company and say, "You are the girl for the job. Go do the job." And remind myself that I am capable. I am available to do this, but that I am capable is the main thing. I know what I know I can do.
Right. I've never heard that, a personal staff meeting. I love that.
You have them.
Well, I've never called it that, but yeah, I talk to, well, see, you know what I do? Charlene, is I actually talk to the dog, and then it doesn't sound like I'm so crazy. So maybe you're talking to Maverick. I don't know, but no, that makes complete and total sense. Complete and total sense. So you've built a nice sized team, and a lot of these people have been with you for a long time. How do you inspire them to succeed? I mean, I understand how you get yourself to really want it, but what do you do to inspire others?
I think the main thing is I find out what's important to them. What do they want to do with this business? Because their dreams are not my dreams. And they are not my goals and dreams and promises are for me are not theirs. And I have to remind myself that if I set the goal to earn a car or I set the goal to become a sales director, it's not important to them. It's important to me. So for me to succeed, I have to find out what's important to them and keep that in front of them. Finding out why they joined this business. What do they want to use their profits for? And then I can help them build their business.
Right.
I have a vision for what it is that they want to do, or why they reminding them why they joined the company, whatever direct sales company it is. They need to have that in front of them all the time. Right. To remind them, oh yeah, that's why I joined. The reason why I joined 30 plus years ago was to get my products across and quit a second job that I hated. That's not why I stayed, but that's right. My why at the time. And our whys change as we go along. Now my why is to pay off debt. It's to earn a car. It's to be able to contribute more to the household income and not have to never go back to work for somebody else. Never. Okay.
But Charlene, that is such an important point for our listeners to hear, is that people's whys do change. Mm-hmm. And as a leader like you are, you're doing a phenomenal job in that you're always in touch with your people and you know when their whys change. And as you said, you're reminding them.
Right. Remind them.
I think that is so important. Very interesting. So now I'm curious, are you in your business full time, and have you always been full time?
I have not always been full time. I have done this every way possible. I am full time now. I've been full time since 2018. I've done this single, married with stepchildren, pregnant with twins, nursing twins, raising twin girls, and now in the somewhat empty nester stage of life because they keep coming back. The twins do anyway. They come, they go, they come, they go. But being able to, I made the decision in 2018 to finally leave the corporate world for the last time. And I was in property management about 20 years of the 30 that I was in Mary Kay, and loved that job, but really got tired of the corporate drama.
Yes.
And I had been praying. Here's the funny thing. I would sit in my job, having my Mary Kay business over here in the background with a great customer base, great team. And I'd be sitting at my job and then wanting someone to come in and offer me something different. And I would be sitting there, I was like, oh, if someone would just offer me a different job. Someone would just offer me a different job. And I finally had to snap out of it and go, what are you doing? You have your business. If you just apply yourself and work your business like a business, you'll never have to work for someone else ever again.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. If people would I see it all the time. I know you're active on Facebook. Do you see those posts that say, I'm looking for something that where I can earn a good income, and I've tried this and tried this and tried this and tried this, and none of them work. And I want to say, no, you haven't worked.
Exactly.
Right?
I was just listening to a call. I think it was yesterday. I can't remember what it was. Just the other day, it was like, no, you did not do everything you possibly could do to make it work. Because if you did, it would have worked.
Right. One of our guests that we've had on in the past, Jonna Johnson, she always said, this business works if you work.
Any business works if you work.
It does. 100%. 100%.
Not a get rich quick. It's not. It is. And it's not for the faint of heart. because you're going to be disappointed. People are going to disappoint you. You're going to be, they're not, you can't take rejection personally. My husband's like, I don't know how you do what you do. I said, what do you mean? He's like, the rejection. I said, they're not rejecting me. They're saying no to a product or an idea or a concept. They're not saying no to me.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you cannot take it. But one of the things when we had talked before that really, really impressed me was how you set goals with, for your business. Now, one of the things we had talked about was, doing the facials and doing presentations. Can you talk a little bit about what your mantra is in terms of how many of things you do and how you go about setting those things? Because it all starts with the presentation that you have to do. So you can talk a little bit about that.
Okay. So when I set a goal for like we'll say Queen's Court of Sales, that's a goal every year to earn another diamond ring. Why not? Or
why not?
Cash. If there's not one I like, I could take cash compensation instead. But I start there, and then you have to go backwards. So you start with your end in mind. It's like, okay, for me to get there, this is what the company requirement is. And then I have to back it down. So then I back it down. It's like, okay, if that's what I have to do for the year, then what do I have to do for the month? And then, okay, then what do I have to do per week? And then know what my average face is. And then from there, I can know how many new faces I need to see each week. And on average, it's about my goal is 10, but we talked about goals and promises is what we had talked about. So there's a difference between a goal and a promise.
What is the difference?
So a goal, it's something you set, it's future, it's what you'd like to achieve. And if you don't hit it, no big deal. You just change the date. And we've all done it. It's like, oh, I'd like to lose 20 pounds and I'd like to do it by Christmas. Okay, I didn't hit it. All right, I'll do it by Easter. Or we just change the date. A promise has more weight to it. When you promise that you're going to, so like Janet, I have a coach I work with, and she says, okay, if I have to go to the doctor's office, are you going to make it your goal and I need someone to take me? And Janet, I call you up. It's like, are you going to make it your goal that you're going to take me to the doctor, or your promise that you're going to take me to the doctor? Because
you don't break a promise, do you?
No. And if you do, you get complete with it right away and you get back into integrity. So it's easy for us to make promises to other people, but making a promise to yourself is a little bit harder. So I make monthly promises, like 30 faces in a month, adding 5 new people to my team. Do I always hit it? No. Am I wrong? No. Do I make myself wrong? No. I just get complete with it. It's like, okay, this is what I did do. This is what I had promised I would do. I get complete with it and I move forward.
I love that. A promise versus a goal.
Right.
I love that. I'm curious. I work a lot with analytics, and you're talking about 30 faces in a month. I love that. That's 30 new people. Mm-hmm. How did you decide on that number? Have you done some facts and figures on it, or is that just a number you picked? Just curious.
Mary Kay actually has a program called the Perfect Start and the Power Start. And even when I was a brand new consultant 30 plus years ago, we had the Perfect Start program. And they recommended that every brand new beauty consultant within the first 2 weeks of her business book 8 parties and hold 5 because of there's going to be cancellation. But before you even start holding any of your appointments, you would get 8 on your books for the first 2 weeks of your business and hold 5. And that's what we did. And if you, as a brand new consultant, say you said, oh, you know what, I'm just going to hold 1 and see how it goes. Well, we all know what happens there. It's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be perfect, and you're going to be discouraged. But Mary Kay was a wise woman. She knew if that new consultant had 8 on her books, she's probably not, the first one's probably not going to go really, really well, or it's going to be a surprise and it's going to go extremely well. Either way, she's not going to stop because she has commitments. already on the books.
Right.
To keep it going. And so a few years after I joined the company, they came out with a power start, which was 30 faces in a month. So a perfect start was 5 parties or 15 faces. A power start was 30 faces. So it could be 5 appointments with 10 people, or not, 10 appointments with 3 people, or you could do however you wanted to do that, but the 30 faces in 30 days. And after talking to a director mentor this last week, that's what she still does, is 30 faces a month, a power start every month, month in, month out, when she wants to move up to another position or another level or achieve a different goal, and until her team builds back up. And so with me going into qualifications to become a sales director, and then listening to what she said, 30 faces take you places in this business, and new faces. And 30 faces will exponentially explode your business.
Right. That is so, whether someone is a Mary Kay consultant or whatever business they're in, every company does have these quick starts, these fast starts, that type of thing. And that's what everybody should do. Follow the process. There's so much analysis and analytics and everything that goes behind it. It's really, really important. But you said something else that is just music to my ears about your director. No matter how long you've been in the business, you practice these fundamentals. That's what you need to do. Just because she's at the top of the compensation program, she keeps doing it. Those fundamentals every single month. That's what everybody needs to do. Doesn't matter.
You have to lead by example. And I was listening. And then even as a sales director, you have to work your personal business first.
Right.
And then work with your new people and work with your key people. So you're a sales director 1 day a week, but 6 days a week, you're a beauty consultant.
Absolutely.
And I had been a sales director before, had earned the car before, and I had stopped doing that. I had stopped working my personal business because I was too busy helping everybody else out. And I know that. And it's easy for me to go help someone else versus work my own.
Wow, there's a good lesson for everybody. Don't quit working your own business, because I see it all the time. It's kind of like if you're trying to release weight and you release that weight, if you go back to the old habits, it's going to come back. So absolutely. That's tremendous. See, I didn't know we were going to talk about that, but I love that. So clearly, after being in this business for 30 plus years, you've seen some differences. And of course, with the advent of the pandemic, you've had to kind of switch your business to a little bit more online. And, in the primary way that you were doing business was with facials. So what have you done to keep your business going when you can't get together necessarily face-to-face doing facials?
I had to pivot hard. And we talked before that the theme song for 2020 should be the hokey pokey, because you're always turning it around, trying to figure out the next thing.
For sure.
And in 2017, like 3 years before, 2.5 years before this pandemic was even on the radar, I had heard about virtual cleansing consultations and thought that's an interesting concept, a different way to work the business, or in addition to my business instead of the face-to-face appointments. So, and I had tried it. It's like, oh, that was kind of fun, but I didn't really pursue it. So when the pandemic hit, it's like, oh, this is how I'm going to do this. Virtual cleansing consultations, virtual skincare classes or parties, Facebook posting parties, QVC style events. Like tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing a trunk show where I'm going to be showing the new products, and every product's going to have a number. I'm going to talk about the features and benefits. And if they would like that product, they can put the product number in the comments. So just another way to work my business. So the virtual cleansing consultations are super fun. I prefer that the person I'm going to work with download our free skin analyzer app. They take a bare naked face facial or selfie. So they naked face not naked
Okay,
body.
no makeup, no. Okay.
You freshly washed your face. You use the app to take a selfie. It scans your skin and it spits out a recommended skincare routine for you based on your needs. And then you send me the results and I send you samples of the products to try. And then we gather together on Zoom or Facebook Messenger or FaceTime, whichever is best. And I walk you through step by step how to use the products.
Right.
That way you can learn how to do your own in-home spa facial on a daily basis.
Right.
So teach my customers 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes at night, 20 minutes twice a week for healthy, beautiful skin.
Perfect. You know, what the one thing, and for our listeners, I did try this because I wanted to understand what Charlene was doing. But the thing that I truly believe has set you apart is that you do the consultation beforehand. A lot of times when I have reached out to people and I've wanted to try this particular product or whatever, or I'm not sure what I should use, what color, you do the consultation. And I think that is so, so important. That's what sets you apart to me, is you do a consultation, regardless of the company. You're doing a consultation. And the other thing is you do give excellent customer service. And that's what people need. That's why people come to us rather than going to the department store or going to the drugstore. That's what sets you apart. But and then I got my samples in the mail, and then we did it because I have done it where I'm not real comfortable taking my makeup off in front of everybody and a mask and all that, but it was a lot more comfortable at home. So for those of you that are in this type of an industry, no matter what your company is, this is something everybody can do. It's not hard.
No, it's simple and it's fast. I mean, my appointments aren't as long. I don't have to drive and get there 30 minutes ahead of time to set up if it's a party of 6 or 7 people. I don't have to spend that time in their home. I can just hop online. I send everybody their samples. We gather together at a certain time. I do an actual party like it would be in person. And I treat everybody like they're sitting across the table from me. That's the other thing. I've had other consultants like, you make that look so easy. It's like, because I just pretend Janet and I are just sitting across the kitchen table or my office table from each other in the same space.
Yeah, so it's really not any different other than it's not live. After 30 some years, you must have run out of family and friends to talk to. How do you go about meeting people? I know how we met, but you want to talk a little bit about how because you, Charlene, you really put the networking back into network marketing. What have you done? How do you keep it going? Because if you're doing 30 faces a month, 30 new people a month, man, you're meeting a lot of people. How do you go about that?
I always tell my new consultants, you're never going to get rich on friends and family. So we're going to work through them really fast. We're going to find out they're going to be your test people. They're going to be your learning people. You're going to learn with them because, as you know, family knows you from way back when. Mm-hmm. You become a beauty expert. They're like, what? You never wore lipstick before, and now you're trying to tell me how to do this? So we need to work through them fast. They're your practice ones. And then find out who they know. So once they know you, love you, trust you, they're going to refer people to you. That's the best way to get those referrals. And the second way is leads. It's learning how to get out there and meet people. So working a full-time job, what I had to do is get creative because I didn't have time to go out we call it warm chatting, where you see somebody sharp at the store and you offer your business card and then you connect with them later to book an appointment. So I really became the master at what I call either facial jars or facial boxes. And now it's going to be picture frames where someone can text me to schedule a free facial. So they would register for a free facial and then I would call them. And I was very consistent with my follow-up because here's the funny, this will blow people's minds. 85% of the sales happen on the 8th to 12th contact. Mm-hmm. And most people give up after the first attempt of calling.
Yes, they do.
So we had a top person in our company create a power booking plan where you're doing a rotation of 10, you have 10 leads you contact per day. And then 3 days later, you're going to do a follow-up call. And then 3 days later, a follow-up call. And then if you don't hear from them, 2 months later, you pull those names back out and you get back in that rotation with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I had these jars and boxes with little sign-up slips at different little restaurants, nail salons, places where people have to stand in line to receive what it is that they ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're waiting is where I would place it. I was very strategic on where I placed it. And I was able to really build my customers, and I added like 6 or 7 team members within a short period of time, because these are people that are wanting a spa experience. They're wanting a facial. They're wanting to try a charcoal mask or a microdermabrasion. So it's not like I'm just meeting someone on the street and they may or may not be interested. This is someone that's like, they're pretty much interested in wanting a free facial.
Yeah. If you're going to get your nails done, chances are you're interested in beauty. That makes complete and total sense. And I love the follow-up and structured follow-up. I'm a huge believer in that. People get so sick of me saying fit food, fortune's in the follow-up, but it truly is. And that statistic, being in sales my entire career, that's so important. So now things have changed. How are you networking online? And I know that's how we met, but do you want to tell everybody a little bit about how you use different types of social media for networking? You don't sell on social media, but you truly network. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So how we met was through an organization called the Happy Neighborhood Project. And I found out about it through some people I used to do live networking with in my area. And they we were doing a little Zoom coffee, and one of the gals that talked about this Happy Neighborhood Project. And I'm like, what is this? It's networking on Zoom and it's free. Okay, I don't have to leave my house and it's free. Yes, so I want to know more information.
Right.
And that's how I started doing that I believe in April. And from there, it's such a fascinating process how it works, because you actually have breakout rooms, you get to meet people and actually get to know them. And from there, I could schedule a coffee chat. So we would schedule a coffee chat, get to know someone even better. Then I could schedule them for a free facial if they're interested. And the question I would ask, what's your experience with Mary Kay been lately? And that just opens up another conversation. So it's building a relationship with someone first, and then they know me, like me, trust me. Then I can talk to them about the product. So that has been a fabulous way for me to start learning another way to grow my business and meet people. And it's grown my LinkedIn network. And so I'm more active on LinkedIn than I hadn't been. So now people are seeing me on LinkedIn and reaching out to me. Right.
But and there's lots of different ones, but we met on Happy. What is it? I don't even know what it's called. Happy Neighborhood Project. Right.
Yes.
But I think what people should gather from this, there's all kinds of these things, but you have a process. You get on, you talk with them, you take it offline, and then you do another one. It was a relationship building. It wasn't like buy my stuff, join my team. You really took your time with it. So I was very, very impressed with it. And you make a point of your networking too. I mean, it's not like you just do it once in a while. Do you kind of have how many times a week you're trying to network in different groups, or what do you do with that?
I had about 3 a week that I like to do. When I first started, because I really needed to build up my funnel again of people to talk to, I was doing about 8 hours of networking a week just to get some things rolling. And then the coffee chat started coming along so I could back off as many. And then I found the ones that fit for me, like the strategic ones. I wasn't like doing everything available. I was like, okay, I just really looked to see where was I getting the best bang for my time. And from there, and then being seen a lot. That's just the other thing. I was listening to a conversation you were having with someone else a little bit ago before we popped on, and being seen and being on there, and people will remember you more versus just every once in a while popping onto a network and being consistent. And that, again, they see the credibility of you when you're on there all the time. And then networking is not, I'm going to go to an event, get 5 leads and leave. It's, I'm going to go consistently. They know me, they trust me, they'll refer people to me, or they'll become one of my customers.
Right. And you refer people to them. I mean, it's a give and take. 100%. I am so crazy about the importance of following up and building that relationship. So again, that's one of the things that so impressed me. So clearly you're a busy lady building this huge business, and with kids and grandkids and Maverick. I love that name, by the way. What do you like to do when you're not working?
I like to go shooting.
Okay.
I know. I kind of shock people with that. My husband and I like to, he likes to do target practice. So that's what we do. We were going to go yesterday, but ran out of time. But that's becoming a new hobby of mine. Yeah. So, and we like to binge watch TV shows. Like we watched all 19 seasons or 18 seasons of NCIS. So it's like,
I'm watching it right now. I love that. I love that show. And I've watched it, but now I'm in the early seasons. Yes. So that's kind of
watching it. Yeah. He missed several years. Like, and we both did. It's like busy with kids. It's like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then we got through. It's like, oh, now what? Now what do we watch? But yeah, I mean, just spending time with my husband, and the grandkids. One of our grandsons, lives local, so it's baseball and soccer and basketball, going to their games. But yeah, it's just gardening, taking care of the yard, taking care of the house. I don't have a lot of super hobbies, but the new ones. You got me when you said I like to go shooting. I have to admit you're the first person I've talked to that said that was one of their hobbies. So very cool. Very cool. That's great. And it's great to hear you do these different things, because I think it's important that everybody is well-rounded. It's not just about business all the time, because at the end of the day, you're working your business, so you're able to do all of these other things. So if you had to give 2 to 3 pieces of advice for any network marketer, direct seller, whether they're new to the business or they're more seasoned, what would you say to them? Oh my gosh, I'm going to sound like a broken record, because it's the same. It's the same. Consistency, follow up, and don't quit.
Tell you what, it's all about the fundamentals, and you're absolutely right. To me, those are the most important things. So now you do have an offer for our listeners. You want to just share what you want to extend to them as your free offer?
Absolutely. So my free offer is, you can download from whatever Play Store, Apple Store, wherever you get your apps, and it's the Mary Kay Skin Analyzer app. It's a free app, and what I'd love for you to do is do that naked face selfie, send me your results, then I will customize a packet for you of samples of products that were recommended from the app. We'll have a conversation before I send them to make sure that I'm getting the right products to you, because if you are consistent with a skincare program, it may recommend something that I probably would say, no, that's not the right product for you, because what you're doing on anti-aging is working. So we're not going to take you backwards on skincare. So we would have a conversation to make sure I send the right products for you. And then we would schedule a free consultation. And you can even invite up to 5 or 6 girlfriends for that too. But I want to really strongly state this. If you have a Mary Kay beauty consultant you're currently working with, I want you to send her your results. Don't contact me, because we have a very strong rule in Mary Kay that we don't take each other's customers. And if you're already working with someone and you love that person, all your business needs to go to her. We don't take, so it's constantly referring people back. So if I have someone at an event, a party that I'm doing, and they are there on the behalf of the hostess, they can purchase from me that one time, but I send them back to their consultant. And if I know their consultant, I will contact their consultant and say, hey, Janet was at my event and she purchased this, this, and this. I just want you to know so you can do follow-up with her in the future.
Well, that's credibility, and that goes a long way in my book. Absolutely. Congratulations for that. And I know that is it, but that also comes from you. So that's so important. And in our show notes is all of the information to reach out to you. And if you want to learn more about the earning opportunity, I will tell you, I feel pretty confident how I know people and how I trust people. And there's a reason why you've been as successful, because you really have you're a really strong leader, Charlene. And I so enjoyed my facial and didn't feel any pressure, because I've used good skincare my entire life, and I'm a huge believer in it. But I learned a ton from you. So, but I want to thank you on behalf of our listeners for sharing your wise words. And they are, some people might not think they're earth shattering, but that's exactly what they're supposed to be. These are the basics. These are the fundamentals, but listen to that, talking to new people, new faces every single day.
Yep.
Every single day. That is so key. So on behalf of the network marketers down, I want to thank you, Charlene Elliott, for sharing your wise words. And here's to your continued success. And I'm looking forward to seeing you drive down the road in Kansas City in that new vehicle that you have earned. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Take care.